Hey everybody, it's Comic-Cade, the biggest kid in comics, and I'm here to talk about Forgotten Comics with the Comic Collectors Guild. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk to you today about a long-forgotten character who only received 5 issues in 2005. I'm talking about Gravity. Here's hoping I figured out that camera glitch I had last time. I moved my camera and I'm not using a phone camera anymore. I got a better angle. You're way up there! Welcome to the show! That's not a permanent spot for that camera. I'm just trying out something new. Gravity was a 5-issue miniseries in 2005 made and published by Marvel Comics. Created by writer Sean McNever and artist Mike Norton. Inspired by the 80s Spider-Man books dealing with a college-age Peter Parker, which makes sense given the many Spider-Man references and at least 2 Spider-Man appearances in the series. Greg Willis was born and raised in Wisconsin. In the summer after high school graduation, he took a boat trip with his parents. During this trip, there was a massive storm where he fell overboard into a vortex of some kind. He survived! Amazing! Bet you didn't see that coming. And soon found he had the power of controlling gravity fields. Wow. They don't really explain it very well. He fell into a vortex and then he has gravity controlling powers. Incredible. After this, he decided that he would go to college in New York and become a superhero. It's kind of a part-time gig, I suppose. This was the beginning of his superhero career. I was recommended to check out this series by my own friendly neighborhood subscriber, Doc X. On Amino, that's her title. We call her Doc for short. I found the series to be ahead of its time, humorous. There's a lot of stuff that's been ripped from, obviously, the college-age Spider-Man stuff, and it's more of a Spider-Man sort of book where it's a young character dealing with life and still being a superhero, and kind of learning what it means to both deal with college stuff and girlfriend stuff and superhero stuff at the same time. The series had a lot of potential, and I'm sure you, just as I do, feel that Marvel kind of left it in the dust, and they could have done more with it. I mean, to be fair, he has been in newer books. There have been newer books featuring this character, and I'll go ahead and put those on screen, but I don't know exactly all the extent. I think he's been in some Contests of Champions stuff, somebody claiming to be the Beyonder, and having another, Secret Wars or something. I don't follow all of the mainstream Marvel stuff. I've been reading, I read all of this, and I found it very entertaining. Again, ahead of its time. But, it needed development. There needed to be more done with it. Like, for instance, he had some girlfriend issues. It's not that I mean to spoil the book or anything. Lauren was a decent character. She sort of just, she moved on from him really quickly. And towards the end, treated him like she still had a thing for him. So that was really confusing. Still, the character dynamic of him not getting stuff and her snapping back at him with facts, it worked really well. It worked really well. So I could understand why people would get to like their characters and would really enjoy seeing that develop further. The series ended with the beginning. There was more to develop. They just didn't do it. They didn't do it at all. And I think that there was some lack of development going into it as well, because the villain, I saw him coming a mile away. But yeah, I don't want to go and spoil the villain story for you. It's still interesting. It's just kind of predictable and there needed to be more development between both Gravity and this villain character, in my opinion. This wasn't supposed to be a review, just a recap. And there's not much more to recap. I've recapped all the main story, the origins, and the facts. That's pretty much it for a recap. So going forward, where can we go with this? Where can we go with Gravity? Where can we take him? Besides down! One thing I think is important to note is that Gravity is not an original character or a character concept. I know I've heard before that there are no original characters or anything for that matter, but hear me out. Gravity has a power set that other characters in Marvel Comics already have. The two most comparable characters, which come to mind right away, are Zero-G from Power Pack and Graviton. Well, Graviton's evil, so I guess character-like-wise it's not the same, but both characters have the same ability to control gravity fields around them, just like Gravity. Now, please understand, I know that there are other comparable characters to characters in the Marvel Universe. They have a vast universe of characters. It's just that these characters have predated, have come way before Gravity ever came to be. So I would hope for a little bit more originality. That's my only critique of his personal character, is that I think I would have preferred a power set that is more uniquely him. Alright, finally, here's my pitch in a nutshell. Greg Willis was born and raised in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. In a world full of marvels, he's always found his little life to be insignificant and uneventful. He always got pushed around by others and let people get away with things because he couldn't do anything to stop them. His life was a bore, and so was he. So he signed up for the Stark Internship program over the summer, after graduation. He would assist the other scientists in running experiments during this time, joyfully contributing to science and the betterment of the human race. Unfortunately, 2 months into the program, a water-based black hole experiment went haywire, and while the scientists in the facility sought safety, Greg was trying to get everyone out, thinking he'd die being selfless and that he could finally be the hero he wanted to be. He falls into the black hole and out the other side, in the lake out in the forest. He wakes up on shore and wanders through the woods until he makes it to the highway, and almost gets run over by a motorist not paying attention. He's shocked because he's unscathed. The front end of the car is crushed inward. After getting to a phone and calling home, his parents come pick him up and question him, wondering if this was true or if he'd gone off the deep end. They take him to a doctor, and the doctor tries to call in a mutant task force because during the checkup he notices somewhat inhuman traits start to appear. This is Greg Willis, 18, given gravity-altering abilities from a black hole experiment, and a chance to do something with his life that could make a serious difference. He drops out of college and seeks help at the Xavier Institute. After a month of exploring his power set, Charles Xavier sends him to New York City to meet with Reed Richards. A few more weeks of experimentation, and he discovers that there was a gene mutation in him since birth that seems to have been unlocked by the dark matter within the man-made black hole. He changes his name to Grav Willis and joins a team of outcast heroes in Pennsylvania trying to make a name for themselves. One of these others is named Frog and exhibits comparable abilities to that of Toad from the Brotherhood. Their leader is a fiery, dark-eyed heroine named Lauren. Remember, this is only an idea. Examples of a path of direction that could be taken if they wanted to. And these are also my personal views, my ideas, my thoughts on the characters. They do not represent the entirety of this channel, the Comic Collectors Guild. Thank you for having me, Comic Collectors Guild. I'm proud to be a member. I do videos like this on my channel all the time, Comic-Cade. If you're interested, please go and check my channel out. Thank you very much. Subscribe, like, comment, share, do all that great stuff, and keep it unreal. Hey there, fellow comic nerds. My name's Comic-Cade, and normally on my channel, I cover comics that...